Good morning, everyone. Now I would like to make a presentation about the character of the war. First of all, from the introduction, war is defined as the act of the violence to compel our opponent to fulfill our will by use the military forces. War has endured the nature, but demonstrate four continuous, like the political dimension, the human dimension, the existence of the uncertainty, and that it is a contest of the will, like I've mentioned it earlier. Warfare has a constantly changing the character, which the change of the character of the war may occur slowly over the generation and quite rapidly. Next, the nature of the war is described as the unchanging essence because the war nature itself is consists of the violence, interactive and fundamentally about the politicals. And war characteristic will be shaped by their politics and the society, which defined by the variable of relationship between three elements known as the Trinity. And the Trinity itself is consists of the passion and the primordial violence, then the change and the uncertainty, and the last one is about the purpose of the goals of the war itself. And war conduct is undoubtedly influenced by the technology, the law, the ethnic, the culture, the method of social, and the politics, and also by the military organization.
Hello, my name is Alfian. I will present to you the changing character of old war and new war. On the old war waged solely between states and were accordingly fought between comparable and symmetrical armed forces. Their goals were fought for geopolitical interests or for ideology like democracy or socialism. The idea of old war is predominated in the 19th and 20th centuries. The new war are fought in the name of identity, ethnic, religion, or tribal that happen in globalization era and fought by varying combination of the network of the state and non-state actors. Their goals are to gain access to the state for particular groups, domestic or international, rather than to carry out particular policies in the broader public interest. And the next is there were significant changes in war concept due to technological development. While World War One indicate the characteristic of more conventional war. On World War Two, witnessed the synchronization of air, land, and sea force. A number of technology-driven innovation can be found in World War Two. Future war as new war show the concept of renewable technological wars such as the cyber war, information war, trade war, or even space war.
Talk about the study case between World War II and Afghanistan War. So, what makes them different, and what is the differences? What is the changing character of the war? And the study case is first is actors, second is purposes, the third is strategic, and then political objective, and also the technology that used in the war. So the first is actors, and the World War II, the actors is the state between state, and in Afghanistan war, the actors is not limited to state, but also the non-state actors. In World War II, the involved actors is European, Asia, which is Japan, US, and the other countries. In Afghanistan war, there is a PDPA that backed by Soviet Union, and also the Mujahideen that backed by US. The second is the purposes. There is a change of the purposes. In World War II, the purposes of the war is to spreading or to widening the territory of the involved state. And in Afghanistan war, the purposes of the war is to spreading the ideology. So basically, Afghanistan war happened after the Cold War, but the influence of the Soviet Union and US still happen in spreading the ideology. The third is the strategic. The strategic that used in World War II is use the military attack between one state to another state by making the alliance or bloc that bloc one attack the other bloc. Meanwhile, in Afghanistan war, the strategic is war of intervention. So in this war, the Mujahideen is backed by US and also the PDPA is backed by Soviet Union. In this war, there is the intervention from the Soviet Union in Afghanistan as well as US intervention in the Mujahideen action.
So, my name is Parwin and I will explain about the impact of the World War II to the development of technology. The first impact after the World War II to the technology is the rise of the air power. As you can see, in the World War II, the air power itself has become the important tools to gain power and strength for winning, because there's a statement said that whoever whoever that could control the air, uh, that means the victory will be easier to achieve, because it was because air power has a great mobility, and also in the World War II era the air power has become more powerful because of the development of the air power itself. In the World War II, the air power could in the World War II, the air, airplane itself, the airplane itself, the airplane itself can, because of the development of the aircraft in the World War II, there is a fighter aeroplane that could fighting in the air while it has a great mobility to survive from the enemy. And also the second thing is the invention of nuclear as a new power source, because considering to the last moment of the World War II, when the US dropped the atomic bomb to the Japan's big cities, which are the Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it was caused a new source of power in the world, which is nuclear, because until now nuclear is perceived as one of the most destructive weapon in the world. And also the impact after the World War II itself, it creates a competition to increase and create sophisticated technology, because in the World War II itself is the beginning of the rapid development of the technology. Therefore, this character is continue even though after the World War II has been end, because countries are want to become the most powerful in the term of technology, so they keep increase the capacity and redevelopment their technology to create the new and the most powerful one in the world. And then the last impact is the huge advancement in the transport, medicine, and weaponry. And as we can see in here, the impact of the World War II itself, there is a high development in the transportation. As we can see, the the role, as we can see that the advancement of the technology itself, not only in the warfield but also outside the warfield, like in the transportation for sending the logistical item like the weapon troop, the transportation, it was really important. And also the medicine also quite advanced after the World War II. And also of course the weapon as the important tools that need to be developed. And next impact or next change, the next characteristic change of World War II towards the politics. Therefore, after the World War II, we know that there is a conflict between communism and democracy that create the next war, which is the Cold War. And this war was actually quite the impact of the Cold War itself, the conflict between the US and the USSR quite large, because it could make one country has to parties in the one countries, like in the Afghanistan war in the 1979, when there is a parties that support the communism, and also parties who refuse the communism to rule the Afghanistan. This party is supported by the US. Actually, the word is distinguished by the one who support the USSR and the US. And then the impact of the World War II actually not only increase the tensions or the war, but also the impact after the World War II is make the world create an organization, international organization, that could maintain the international affairs, like the United Nations, and also to decrease the rate of the genocide and also human violations. There is also the humanitarian treaties that has been established to protect the human rights.
Hello, my name is Catherine, and in this part, I will concluding all of the part that my friend has been done. As my friend said, war is an intense armed conflict between the state, government, society, and paramilitary groups. War has changing nature because war is hard, interactive, and politically fundamental. The characteristic of war will be determined by variable relationships such as passion and primordial violence, opportunities and uncertainty, and purpose. War behavior is influenced by technology, law, ethnicity, culture, social, politics, and military organization. The change in strategy, like my friend said, shows the characteristic of an older conventional war being a new war, showing the concept of a technological war, like cyber war, information war, and etc. And in this technological change is becoming a new style for the world, such as increasingly sophisticated means of war, increased competition, and the creation of sophisticated technologies, weapons, and the current war on policy relation is the rise of international organizations, the United Nations, and the various humanitarian treaties. Therefore, the relationship between war and the current policy is a process formed based on the outcome of decision and the incorporation of different definitions of the nature of politics. This is our presentation on the changing character of war. And At the end, I say thank you.